A Guten Erev Shabbos on this beautiful day in Boston. It's Shabbat Bahar B'Chukotai. We finished the book of Bahar and B'Chukotai, the book of Leviticus, and we get up and show and we say Chazak, Chazak, V'nis Chazek. And the primary mitzvah that this week's Torah portion begins with is the mitzvah of the sabbatical year. Just like you have 6 days a week you work, and on the 7th day you have Shabbat, you rest. So says the Torah that 6 years you work in your field. On the 7th year, you have a sabbatical. The land must lay fallow. You can't do agriculture in your land. You let it be free to everyone, and you let it just sit the way it is. And what's the message really the Torah is trying to teach us? And the answer is that we live in a world where everyone is constantly trying to gain another piece of land. You know, there's the famous story they say about this king who owned all the land in the province. And he had these people, and he told them, you know what, I'm giving you one day. He owned tens of thousands, millions of acres. And he said, you could run from sundown, from sunrise till sundown, you could run. And as much land as you run over becomes yours. And this one couple went, and they ran, and they ran, and they ran. And every time they ran another foot, they realized they're owning more land. And they were running out of breath. They didn't have breakfast, lunch, or supper, no stopping for drinks, because they could get more land. And finally, they see the sun is starting to set, but they want to get every piece of land, the more they could get. And finally, the last moment, as the sun is setting, the guy jumps into the last piece of land, and he faints, and he collapses, and he dies. And they bury him in a 2x4. And the message is, of course, that at the end of the day, what the Torah is trying to tell us is, you could accumulate and acquire as much land as you want, but you can't take any of it with you. At the end of the day, do you own the land, or does the land own you? There was just two people fighting over a piece of land, and they came to the rabbi, and this one said, it's mine, this one said, it's mine. The rabbi says, let me speak to the piece of land. And they said, oh, that's ridiculous. So the rabbi goes down, he bends down, he whispers to the land, and then he listens with his ear, and he comes back, he says, the land spoke to me. So what are you talking about? The land says that it belongs to none of you. You both belong to it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be buried in the piece of land, in the earth. The message of the sabbatical year is such a powerful message. Imagine, they lived a life in Israel full of agriculture. Everyone worked in their field. Everyone had their servants. And then on the 7th year, God says, it's a year of rest. You don't own your land more than anyone else. Everyone could eat in it as much as they want. Not only that, but you can't work on it. It's about faith. It's about perspective. And that's what the Torah is trying to teach us. God gives us a certain allot of days, certain allot of years. We can either accumulate real estate, or we could accumulate good deeds and actions and impact we have on others. God bless you. Have a good Shabbos, and hopefully we could keep that perspective for all of our lives. Shabbat Shalom.